What if just 3 simple words could quietly take space in her mind, not forcefully, not desperately, but so naturally that she starts thinking about you when nothing reminds her of you? This isn't about tricks or manipulation. This is about understanding how emotional memory works, how attraction is created at a subconscious level, and how the right words, spoken at the right moment, can leave a lasting emotional echo. When words touch emotion, they don't fade, they replay. And today, you'll understand exactly how that happens. Attraction never begins in the logical part of the mind. Logic analyzes, measures, compares, and questions, but desire does none of these things. Desire appears before reasons are formed. It arrives as a feeling, a subtle shift in emotion that cannot be explained, but is instantly recognized. That is why attraction is emotional first, and everything else follows later. When emotion is triggered, the mind stops asking, does this make sense? And starts asking, how does this make me feel? This is the moment where connection is created. The brain releases signals that associate a person with a specific emotional state. Once that association forms, the feeling becomes stronger every time the memory is activated. Logic may forget details, but emotion remembers energy. Most people try to impress using facts, achievements, or explanations. They speak to logic, hoping logic will create attraction. But logic does not create longing. Logic creates evaluation. Evaluation creates distance. Emotion, on the other hand, creates closeness without effort. It bypasses analysis and goes straight to experience. Emotion is powerful because it creates internal movement. A smile appears without intention. Attention sharpens without awareness. Time feels different. These reactions are not chosen. They happen automatically. That is why emotional attraction feels natural and unforced. The mind is responding, not deciding. When emotion is involved, even small moments become significant. A simple sentence can feel meaningful. A pause can feel intense. A calm tone can feel safe. None of these are logical responses, yet they are deeply real. This is how emotional memory is formed. The mind starts replaying moments, not because it wants to, but because emotion tells it to. Another reason emotion dominates attraction is because it signals safety or excitement. Both are primal responses. The brain is designed to notice what feels good or what feels different. When emotion is activated, attention increases. Increased attention leads to deeper imprinting. This is why emotionally charged interactions are remembered long after ordinary conversations fade. Logic asks for proof. Emotion asks for presence. When presence is felt, trust grows. When trust grows, attachment begins. This process does not require convincing or persuasion. It happens quietly, naturally, and often without conscious awareness. This is why the right words are not impressive words, but emotionally accurate ones. Words that match the moment, respect the feeling, and align with confidence. When emotion is touched correctly, attraction doesn't need explanation. It simply exists steady and undeniable. Emotion also creates anticipation, which is far more powerful than certainty. When the emotional experience feels open rather than complete, the mind stays engaged. It wonders, reflects, and revisits. This ongoing mental engagement strengthens attraction without effort. The goal is never to convince, but to resonate. Resonance happens when emotion is genuine, balanced, and grounded. When that happens, attraction grows quietly, consistently, and without resistance, because the mind believes the feeling before it ever believes a reason. That is the hidden difference between attention that fades and attraction that stays alive, deep within the mind. Mystery is one of the most powerful forces in attraction because it creates a natural tension that the mind cannot ignore. Humans are wired to notice what is incomplete, what is uncertain, what is unexplained. When a person presents themselves fully with nothing left to discover, the mind stops seeking. But when something about them feels slightly out of reach, slightly hidden, curiosity is triggered, and the brain becomes naturally engaged. Mystery doesn't have to be dramatic or calculated. It can be subtle, a nuance in words, a pause in a conversation, or a layer of personality that is revealed slowly over time. It is this subtle incompleteness that makes someone unforgettable. When mystery is present, the mind begins to fill in the blanks. It imagines possibilities, wonders what comes next, and often projects desires onto the person. This projection is powerful because the brain starts building a story around them. That story is personal and self-generated, which makes it feel more meaningful than any statement someone could make directly. The act of imagining creates a loop in the mind, a mental replay that keeps the person present in thoughts even when they are not physically there. Curiosity, once sparked, does not fade easily. It seeks resolution. But resolution only arrives slowly, ensuring ongoing mental attention. Mystery also amplifies emotional impact. When someone is partially unknown, every interaction carries weight. Every word matters more. Every gesture seems intentional. The brain notices details it would otherwise overlook. This heightened perception increases emotional intensity, making the experience feel richer and more memorable. People remember feelings, not facts, and mystery ensures that feelings associated with a person are consistently engaging. It creates a sense of unpredictability that keeps the mind alert and emotionally invested. Another key aspect of mystery is that it fosters independence and autonomy. When someone does not reveal everything at once, they appear self-contained, confident, and intriguing. There is no desperation connection, no rush to be liked or understood. This independent energy is magnetic because it signals strength and self-respect. When combined with emotional connection, mystery creates a balance between closeness and distance, allowing attraction to deepen without overwhelming pressure. The mind is free to explore, and that freedom creates desire naturally. Timing is critical in maintaining mystery. Revealing too much too soon removes curiosity and diminishes impact. A well-placed pause, a small reveal, or an unexpected action keeps interest alive and minds engaged. The brain thrives on patterns that are slightly unpredictable. Mystery provides this unpredictability in a positive, emotionally stimulating way. It keeps the mind working, imagining, and revisiting memories long after the interaction has ended. Ultimately, mystery is not about being distant or secretive for manipulation. It's about cultivating layers, subtlety, and intrigue that allow the mind to engage naturally. It transforms ordinary interactions into memorable experiences because the mind is compelled to explore what it does not fully understand. Curiosity, imagination, and emotional engagement are activated simultaneously, creating a powerful mental loop. Mystery ensures that thoughts of the person are repeated, returning naturally and often without effort. It is this delicate balance between openness and restraint that makes someone unforgettable. And it is the quiet genius behind why attraction lingers long after words are spoken. Emotional safety is the foundation on which deep and lasting attraction is built. Without it, even the most charming words, impressive actions, or exciting experiences cannot create a meaningful connection. Emotional safety is a state in which someone feels genuinely seen, understood, and accepted without judgment. When the mind senses safety, it lowers its defenses and allows vulnerability to emerge. This vulnerability is not weakness. It is the space where connection thrives. People naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel secure, valued, and comfortable because the brain associates these feelings with stability, trust, and reliability. When emotional safety is present, the mind begins to relax. Tension, anxiety, and skepticism diminish, and in their place arises a sense of calm and openness. This calm is magnetic because it contrasts sharply with the chaos of uncertainty that often dominates human interactions. Feeling safe encourages authenticity. When someone feels free to express their thoughts, emotions, and desires without fear of rejection or ridicule, the connection deepens organically. The brain rewards these interactions with a sense of pleasure, reinforcing the desire to be around that person again and again. Emotional safety creates a feedback loop. The safer someone feels, the more open they are. The stronger the bond grows. Another critical aspect of emotional safety is consistency. Sporadic moments of comfort are not enough. The mind craves reliability. When someone consistently provides reassurance, understanding, and validation, the brain begins to form trust associations. These associations are powerful because trust is a prerequisite for attachment. Once trust is established, the mind begins to anchor the person into positive emotional experiences. Every interaction becomes a memory that signals warmth, acceptance, and comfort, which keeps the mind replaying the connection repeatedly. Emotional safety turns fleeting attention into sustained interest. Importantly, emotional safety is not about agreeing with everything or avoiding challenges. It is about creating a space where differences are respected, opinions are honored, and emotional expression is encouraged without fear. When the brain experiences this balance of honesty and acceptance, attraction grows because it is grounded in respect and understanding rather than superficial charm or manipulation. People are drawn to those who make them feel understood at a deep level, not merely entertained or impressed. Confidence and emotional safety are deeply interconnected. The person who exudes calm assurance without being controlling signals that the other person is free to be themselves. This combination of autonomy and security is irresistible because it allows the mind to engage fully without resistance. Emotional safety transforms curiosity into attachment and attention into longing. When someone feels safe, their mind naturally dwells on the person who provides that sense of security. Thoughts linger not out of obligation, but because the brain associates the individual with positive emotional experiences. Ultimately, emotional safety is the silent magnet in attraction. It does not shout, it does not demand, it nurtures. It makes interactions feel effortless, meaningful, and memorable. It creates a mental environment where desire can flourish naturally, where memories are repeated emotionally rather than intellectually, and where attention is held without force. Emotional safety is the invisible thread that connects minds, hearts, and memories, ensuring that someone's presence lingers long after they are gone. It is the quiet, powerful foundation that transforms fleeting interest into lasting thought and casual attention into deep, consistent emotional engagement. Confidence is one of the most magnetic forces in human interaction, and its impact on attraction is often underestimated. True confidence is quiet, unassuming, and rooted in self-awareness. It is not about boasting achievements or trying to impress. It is about a calm certainty that comes from knowing oneself and one's value. When confidence is present, it radiates subtly through posture, tone, and behavior. The mind perceives it instantly and responds instinctively. Because confidence signals security, competence, and emotional stability. These are traits that the brain interprets as desirable and trustworthy, creating a natural pull without the need for words or effort. Confidence amplifies the effect of words because it provides them with weight and credibility. When something is said with confidence, it doesn't feel like an opinion up for debate. It feels like a statement that carries truth and authority. This is why confident delivery of even simple words can leave a lasting impression. The brain associates confidence with reliability, and reliability builds both trust and intrigue. When someone speaks or acts from a place of grounded confidence, their words echo longer in the mind of the listener because they are not filtered through doubt. They are absorbed as meaningful and intentional. Another critical aspect of confidence is the absence of neediness. Neediness, desperation, or over-explaining signals insecurity, which naturally diminishes attraction. The mind is instinctively drawn to people who are self-sufficient and emotionally autonomous because such individuals create a sense of balance and safety in interactions. Confidence without arrogance communicates that a person is complete on their own, yet open to connection. This combination is magnetic because it allows the other person to feel valued without feeling pressured, and it creates a sense of ease that makes engagement natural and enjoyable. Confidence also enhances mystery and intrigue. When someone acts with self-assuredness, they don't feel compelled to reveal everything at once or explain themselves constantly. This creates space for curiosity, allowing the mind to fill in the gaps, wonder, and replay moments mentally. A confident presence paired with selective sharing ensures that attention remains active, not passive, which is crucial for mental engagement and lasting attraction. Confidence is not about being distant, it is about being grounded, present, and intentional in every word, gesture, expression. Furthermore, confidence shapes perception. The brain often interprets confident behavior as a reflection of inner strength, emotional resilience, and social competence. These traits are universally attractive because they indicate the ability to handle challenges, create security, and provide support. The perception of strength draws attention, while the perception of calm ensures that this attention is positive rather than intimidating. The combination of presence and poise creates a magnetic energy that makes interactions memorable and naturally repeatable in thought. Ultimately, confidence transforms simple interactions into lasting impressions. It turns ordinary moments into emotionally resonant experiences because the mind senses authenticity and stability. When confidence is present, it enhances the impact of emotional safety, mystery, and timing. Words carry weight, pauses create tension, and gestures resonate with intention. Confidence doesn't force attraction. It allows attraction to flourish naturally by signaling value and self-assuredness. It is the invisible amplifier that ensures attention lingers, thoughts replay, and the mind remains engaged long after the interaction ends. True confidence is not learned through imitation. It is cultivated through self-knowledge, consistency, and the quiet mastery of presence, making it one of the most powerful tools in creating lasting mental and emotional connection. Timing is one of the most critical, yet often overlooked elements in creating lasting attraction. Words, actions, and gestures carry power not just in their content, but in when they are delivered. Even the most perfect phrase can fall flat if the moment is wrong, and even simple words can create a deep impact if spoken at exactly the right time. The brain responds not only to what is said, but to the context, the emotional state, and the readiness of the mind to receive it. Timing is the invisible thread that weaves attention, curiosity, and emotional engagement into lasting thought patterns. Every interaction creates a mental and emotional context. If the timing aligns with openness, emotional availability, or a moment of connection, words resonate far deeper than they would in a distracted, tense, or indifferent state. The mind subconsciously links the feeling of being understood, seen, or intrigued with the words or gestures experienced in that moment. This association is powerful because the brain stores emotional resonance more effectively than mere facts. A phrase spoken at the perfect moment becomes a memory that naturally replays, while the same phrase said at the wrong time is often ignored or forgotten. Timing also works to create anticipation. The brain is naturally drawn to patterns, but it craves a slight unpredictability. When interactions are spaced thoughtfully, when pauses are intentional, and when responses are measured, it heightens engagement and mental repetition. Anticipation builds because the mind begins to focus on what comes next, to imagine possibilities, and to linger on the subtle energy of previous interactions. Moments of emotional pause rather than continuous overexposure ensure that attention is not overwhelmed, but instead gently loops back, creating repeated mental recall. Another dimension of timing is understanding emotional cycles. Every person has moments of receptivity and moments of guardedness. Speaking, acting, or revealing emotionally charged words during a receptive moment exponentially increases their impact. Conversely, forcing engagement during a closed or distracted state diminishes attraction and can even create resistance. Sensitivity to timing is therefore not manipulative, it is intuitive alignment. It shows awareness of emotional rhythms and respect for the natural flow of interaction, which itself increases trust and mental presence. Timing also interacts with pacing. Revealing information, emotions, or intentions too quickly removes curiosity and diminishes impact. Revealing them too slowly can create frustration or disconnect. The delicate balance ensures that the mind remains engaged, intrigued, and comfortable at the same time. It's the rhythm of interaction, the pause before a smile, the subtle delay before an important word that transforms ordinary exchanges into lasting impressions. The brain registers this as meaningful and intentional, and it naturally returns to replay those moments in memory. Ultimately, timing is the silent amplifier of attraction. It ensures that words resonate, emotions imprint, and mental loops form naturally. It is the difference between fleeting attention and continuous engagement, between words that are forgotten and words that linger. Mastering timing requires patience, observation, and presence. It is less about control and more about alignment, aligning actions with emotional readiness, aligning presence with perception, and aligning speech with resonance. When timing is mastered, every interaction becomes an opportunity to leave a subtle, lasting impact, creating repeated thought and emotional engagement long after the moment has passed. Timing turns potential into permanence, making attraction effortless, natural, and deeply memorable. Simplicity is one of the most underestimated yet powerful tools in creating lasting attraction. The mind does not need elaborate phrases, complicated strategies, or dramatic gestures to remember someone or feel drawn to them. In fact, simplicity often carries more impact precisely because it is clear, direct, and emotionally digestible. When words, actions, and expressions are simple, they leave space for the mind to engage, interpret, and emotionally connect rather than getting lost in complexity or confusion. Simplicity allows meaning to shine through without distraction, making every interaction feel natural, effortless, and memorable. The brain responds to clarity. When communication is straightforward, it is easier for the mind to process and attach emotional significance. Complex or overthought expressions can overwhelm attention, reduce impact, and even create skepticism. Simple words spoken with intention convey confidence and authenticity because they do not rely on exaggeration or unnecessary embellishment. The emotional resonance comes from the purity of the message, not its quantity. A concise, heartfelt phrase often lingers far longer in memory than a long, elaborate speech because it is easier for the mind to recall and replay repeatedly. Simplicity also enhances the feeling of presence. When interactions are uncomplicated, there is room for genuine connection. Attention is not divided between deciphering meaning and processing emotion. Instead, the mind can fully engage with the experience itself. This creates a mental imprint that is rich and clear, allowing the other person to focus on how they felt during the interaction rather than being distracted by excessive explanation or detail. Emotional experiences are amplified when the mind has space to interpret and relive them, and simplicity ensures this space exists naturally. Another advantage of simplicity is that it complements emotional safety and confidence. When words and gestures are simple, they feel honest and uncontrived. The mind recognizes authenticity and responds positively because there is no hidden agenda or pretense. Simplicity signals confidence because it shows that there is no need to over-explain or over-perform. The person who can communicate effectively and meaningfully with minimal words demonstrates self-assuredness, which naturally draws attention and interest. The brain associates simplicity with stability, consistency, and reliability, all traits that strengthen attachment and engagement. Simplicity also interacts with timing and mystery to maximize impact. A carefully chosen word, a subtle gesture, or a brief pause can carry far more emotional weight than a lengthy monologue. The mind notices subtlety and responds to it, often replaying small, clear moments over and over because they feel intentional and significant. When interactions are stripped of unnecessary complexity, every element becomes more memorable, every phrase more potent, and every pause more magnetic. Simple expressions create mental loops because they are easy to recall yet emotionally rich, allowing the mind to linger naturally on the experience. Ultimately, simplicity is the secret that makes words and actions unforgettable. It transforms ordinary moments into emotionally resonant experiences without forcing effort or attention. The mind is drawn to clarity, emotional honesty, and directness because these qualities make connection effortless and meaningful. Simplicity allows attraction to flourish naturally, reinforcing curiosity, engagement, and emotional resonance. It ensures that thoughts of a person repeat not because of elaborate effort, but because of the elegant, understated power of clear, intentional, and emotionally aligned expression. Simplicity makes presence feel profound, attention feel natural, and memory feel permanent, creating lasting mental and emotional impact.